In this video, we're going to cover basic fundamental ideas of back falls. And again, with all Ukemi, I encourage you to start off with a very simple form and work your way up as your skill level progresses, go to the more difficult forms. These basic form ideas with back fall are sort of a fundamental that instill a lot of various ideas into you. And they're really critical components of your practice. So you want to make sure you do some every class, regardless of how advanced in rank you are. These are very fundamental building stones of your Ukemi. The basic form that we're going to deal with is that we're laying down. And from this position, you'll see two different form ideas at work. Is that some people will leave their chin tucked the whole time. So you can think about looking at the knot on your belt or your obi, looking at your belly button perhaps. Some people will start with their head down and they will tuck their chin as they slap. Both of these are really good forms to get into. With your slaps, you want to make sure you're coming down somewhere about a 45-degree angle. There's a tendency early on that your arms are too wide, and this can lead to shoulder injury if you're not careful. So, especially as you're getting into the more dynamic forms of the falling. So about 45 degrees. You don't want to slap too hard. You'll see a lot of people just very, very hard. And that goes back toward the joystick and the basic fundamentals of Ukemi, where you're putting extra energy into the fall. You're just going to have to eat that. The idea is with your hands up and either with your chin tucked already or breathing out as your chin comes up, just letting your hands fall. You'll notice there's a little natural bounce at the end. That's okay. Breathing out as your chin comes up. And this is your basic form. From here, we can go to a sitting form. And about the time you start to feel your shoulder blades come in contact with the floor, go ahead and let yourself breathe out. Tuck your chin. So let yourself be round and let your feet go ahead and come up. Nice and round. Chin tucked. Very fundamental ideas. From here, your next progression would be to a squatting form. What you have to watch for here is you want to be on the balls of the feet. You do not want to be on your heels. If people get on their heels as they will shoot backwards as they fall. So coming up to the balls of the feet, tucking the chin, rolling back. One of the things you can do also to encourage yourself to come forward is to point your toes and maybe do a little crunch like with your abs. So pointing your toes, doing a crunch, and that'll help pull you back forward. The final form that you can get into is the standing form of back fall. And there's a couple of different entries for this as well. In the beginning, again, raising up on the toes or letting the weight, bending the knees so the weight goes into the toes. Most people cannot squat down flat-footed and roll backwards. Most people are going to have to let the weight come forward as they go into that. Some of the more advanced players, which you might experiment with, is having one foot forward, so you're sort of sitting down into the fall. So from here, we can take a step backwards as we're getting into the fall. Or you can just practice a lot of straight down falls. And these are your base forms for your basic back fall, Ukemi. And like I said, regardless of rank or skill, you should always get some of these in every class because you're building fundamentals like tucking the chin, the timing of the shoulder blades touching as far as when to slap, and it's a real easy way to get all the fundamentals working correctly with your fall.